And Dara Cunningham.
Hello there.
Well, we are here. It is Sunday, the 8th of February, 2 days after the magnificent victory over Nottingham Forest at Elland Road. Attendance 36,835. Don't know why I've said that. I never normally say it, but it's on my sheet. A bit like Ron Burgundy, just reading stuff. But before we get into it, special thanks to Bass and Bly, sponsors of the podcast. A notable mention: someone was in the shop this week. A Leeds United player. Who was it?
Is it a guessing game? Are we allowed to know?
Well, you two know it. Just tell them. Put
Can we give hints?
He
did not drop the camera.
That's a terrible clue. We're never going to get it now.
It is true. It is true. The one and only Illan Meslier was in the shop. Justin was very happy. He said he's a lovely man, and he did buy a lot of gear. So there you go. That's what more is a trust indicator than Illan Meslier, one of our goalkeepers, buying gear from Bass and Bly.
Clearly a listener of the podcast. Hi, Elland. Sorry for everything we said.
It was all Rocco. If you go to Bass and Bly, there is going to be a sale on. It is due to launch in February, which will be 10% on used gear. So make sure you go there. It's www.bassandbly.com or 6 Beulah Street in Harrogate. They sell tons of gear: Canon, Fuji, Nikon, Sony, Zeiss, loads of camera stuff, binoculars. Just go there. It's awesome. So, 3-1 in the end, and it was very, very wet at Elland Road. Rocco, you were there, weren't you? Weren't you there, Rocco?
No, I missed the game. Very last minute decision to help Leeds over the line because they've got such a great record when I miss home games, and they always have. Even when I was like useless, when we were useless and I would be on a work trip, we would always win. And what games have I missed? I've missed Sheffield United.
Leicester?
No, that's always the one that you get wrong. Which was
Sunderland.
the Sunderland, yeah. And the promotion game when we beat Preston. Not the actual promotion game. And then last night, and I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it. I was quite happy enough watching on telly, which was a lovely experience in itself.
To be fair, Rocco did run an ultra marathon the next day, and he didn't want to be on his feet the whole time that night. So fair play, mate. And I know you're going to be doing that for an incredible cause as well as we get closer to it. This was just kind of the warm up, is that right? And then you do a longer one in a few months' time. Yeah,
this was just a paltry 34 miles, and it's 47 miles in May. When I'll shake everyone down a bit closer to the time, but it wasn't just that. I was just incredibly had so much on. I've got to go to Saudi Arabia as well tomorrow, so it was all just a bit manic, and I really couldn't do it, which was a darn shame.
We have to dwell on that for a moment. 34 miles.
Yeah, it was a cracking course all around Harrogate, all through boggy fields and muddy woods. It's crazy. 6.5 hours. I was pretty happy with that time.
That's crazy. What I'm impressed by on the photos, Rocco, is that you're always wearing like football gear, and like for that amount of time, that stuff just chafes like hell. Like, what? Just buy some proper gear. Like, I'll buy you. In fact, we'll buy you a nice running top and some running shorts. I think you need.
Leeds that branded. Yeah. Did you notice what football shorts I was wearing? I'm surprised I'm not got any gypped for it just yet.
Must have been Harrogate Town.
Man United ones, weren't they?
Yeah, Harrogate Town. Proud to be Town.
That escalated quickly. Trying to get Rocco killed.
Anyway, let's talk football.
I nearly ventured into another team then, Rocco, but we'll come back to that. Remind me. So yeah, Gruev masterclass, 43 out of 44 passes, 98% accuracy, 2 assists. Only the third player to hit 25 plus passes at 98% with 2 assists in a Premier League game. First Leeds player with 2 home Premier League assists since Pablo versus Newcastle in December 2020. His ratings on FotMob were 8.9 and 8.1 on SofaScore. Sky gave him man of the match. Farke said he was a mixture of Stoichkov and Matthaus. And Dara didn't want him to play.
Matthias.
Lothar Matthias, not Matthaus.
Bloody hell.
That's how it's spelled.
How did you pronounce Stoichkov right?
Ron Burgundy, man. Whatever it
'Cause I
says
know
on the
him.
screen. Whatever it says on the screen, he'll read it.
Exactly.
No, as you mentioned, I've always said that Gruev should be in the team every week ahead of all other midfielders.
Oh, dear.
Like I've always said, if
Dara had a
5 midfield-
meltdown. Dara had a meltdown on our WhatsApp group before the game, and I have to say it. And me and Rocco were trusting Farke. Dara was not. But I did. I got it. I got the sentiment of it.
You were. No, I did. I did. I was genuinely I was angry. I was really angry because we were on here the week before and we were saying, he's reverting to type. He's picking his favourites again. He's got a perfectly good centre back in Bornau who's done nothing wrong, and he's been out of the team for a full back who I still think is a good player, but he's not a centre back. And then you've got your 5 centre midfielders fit. And in what world is Sean Longstaff inferior or offering less than Ilia Gruev? And Ilia Gruev then showed me what world that was, and it was his world, and we were all just living in it. To be fair, I don't mind taking this one on the chin because I think I'm in the majority. I think most people saw that team, other than you two, which showed great faith in Farke. But I think most people saw that team and went, for God's sake. And it's not even a bad thing against Gruev, because I think we said this on the pod last week. He's exceeded expectations this season and everything he's done. He's played well. It just felt that Sean Longstaff could play better. That he could add more, that he has a better repertoire of weapons within his arsenal. But on the night, magnificent. Gruev was absolutely magnificent, and he rammed it down my throat and every other throat out there that said that he shouldn't have been playing. And again, I'll just reference that. I wasn't saying he shouldn't have been playing. I'd have been okay if he was playing. I just wanted Longstaff to get a start, and I thought he needed one. That was where I thought actually he'd come in for Stack. So anyway, take it on the chin.
Rocco, were you the same as me and probably everyone else in the sense that you thought Longstaff was probably the right call, but equally just like, Farke, do your thing, you know what you're doing? I think was there a particular hangover from the 4-0 defeat of Arsenal and then feeling like everything needs to change that was probably sort of clouding people's view as well?
Probably not for me, but only because I've really rated Gruev over the last few weeks. I think he has been playing amazing. And Dara, you made fair points last week about horses for courses, and against Arsenal, Longstaff, probably would have been the better choice, especially with the height thing that you mentioned. But he has been playing very well, so it's not only a case of trusting Farke and just backing him. It was a case of I really have appreciated Gruev. He's been doing brilliantly, a massive part of the team that has turned everything around. It's the formation mainly probably, but also Gruev's come in and been a huge part of that. So, but then again, I'm it's a funny situation because Farke, fair play to him. He could have taken all the plaudits, but he called it exactly right afterwards. He said, look, Gruev's a 7 out of 10 player, but tonight he gave him a 10 out of 10. And that's what happened. I'm not sat here saying, I knew Gruev was going to turn into a mixture of Stoichkov and Mataus. But he did, and that was amazing. So take it all day long.
Is that Madhouse from The Simpsons? Bart Simpson's mate Madhouse.
The problem is right. I have to write stuff down, otherwise I'll forget it. But then I just read it as it's written. Oh, such an idiot. Anyway, so I mean, I think the main thing in Dara, we were talking about this before we started recording as well, was that Farke had done his tactical homework, and maybe Gruev is the sort of player that really benefits from sort of, I guess, more prescriptive things that you should do in a game. And we were obviously targeting that right-hand side with Abbott, who's, I think it was his debut at right back because Williams was suspended and Murillo was injured as well. So Gruev was obviously told to play forward from into the left half space, which is what Farke had said in the post match that he'd given those instructions, and they had been rehearsing it all week at Thorpe Arch. So they've worked on it. There's a goal last season I think that maybe happened where Dan James came in from the right, where maybe Peru dropped in as well. Someone posted it on Twitter, so it's something that we've done before and obviously works when we sense there's potentially someone weaker at the right back. But one of the things as well that I noticed was Goodmanson early on was just absolutely flying up the left hand side and was cutting in so well, and it just made, like, I didn't know that they were specifically targeting the right hand side, but it was so obvious that it was something to be exploited. As soon as Gabby was up there, he was getting in every time, and it just made me think, why aren't we putting the ball there more? Why aren't we putting it there more? But in the end, it sort of paid off. But yeah, great ball by Gruev. But I suppose before that, we had the crossing from the left-hand side, which was James Justin onto the head of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which was like, that is a Dominic Calvert-Lewin classic, and the crossbar absolutely rattled. I thought it was in. I thought it was going to hit the back of the keeper and go into the goal, but sadly it didn't. But it was a good moment.
It was a great header. I think it was Chris Sutton on the commentary on Sky Sports, wasn't it? And he was like, "Oh, he's got to be scoring that." And I just thought that was so harsh. Like, as my dad would say, he hit the bar, so it's as good as a goal. But like, seriously speaking, in that instance, he's beat the keeper, all ends up. It's a fantastic header. Yeah, just unlucky. Great effort.
Yeah, he nearly broke the crossbar with that. I mean, if it had hit the crossbar square on, it would have bounced back to the halfway line. Like, the power he managed to generate from that. And you mentioned James Justin with the cross in. Like, he was on corners. He was on the corners from our left in swingers, and Gruev was on the corners on the right. They weren't bad. I mean, they weren't great either. We obviously didn't score from one, but we got that second phase, and we kept pressure on with them. So interesting to see that when Stack is out and Longstaff isn't on the pitch, and both of those being our main set piece takers, that there are other players up there who can still contribute. But yeah, that was a brilliant header by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He rose so well, and the power he generated into that header, and he was unlucky. You're talking what, an inch lower, and that clips the bottom of the crossbar and goes in. A centimetre lower probably hits the bottom of the crossbar and goes just beyond line. So what can you do about that? That's nonsense from Chris.
Yeah, and Rocco, I think a couple of weeks ago we maybe skipped past. There was an episode where we didn't even talk about our goal. Was it the Fulham game? I think it was, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, the last minute winner we scored.
It's like in all the excitement, we just didn't talk about it. What a podcast, eh? We know why we have loyal listeners that have listened to the audio version for 6 years now. So it almost skimmed over Gruev making that just awesome pass into Bogle, and I remember at the time thinking, why is Bogle up there? And surely he's offside, because he looked offside from where I'm sat behind the goal in the Kop. And but yeah, great composed finish. That glance back to see if he is flagged offside as well before he then runs to the corner and celebrates. It was amazing. I'm pleased for Bogle as well, because he obviously had a bit of a rough patch with injury and whatnot, and he's back and he's flying, which is exactly what we need. He's a pest. He was brilliant again.
Yeah, I must say, when we got turned round for the first half attacking the Kop, I was a bit relieved, having missed the game, to know that we'd be shooting the wrong way in the second half. But then, yeah, that came back to bite me, because the first half must have just been electric, and it, started with that goal. And I'd like to credit Farke again, and point out to all those people that were saying that he had no tactics, that he just relied on his good players to put the ball in the net, like Somerville. A load of nonsense. Look at that. He's got his right back flying inside like a false number 10, breaching the defence. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And he was willing to take the credit for that one after the game, fairly as well. And great finish. Left foot finish, composed to let it bounce. Goalkeeper didn't cover himself in glory, which I loved as well. Everyone crying that we didn't sign this 500 grand keeper, that if we had signed, everyone would have been crying about, because we were only signing City's third choice 500 grand keeper. We don't need him. We're fine as we are.
How many times you watched that goal back, Rocco? The finish. The finish.
The finish. Was it right-footed?
No,
Left-footed.
No, but I'll tell you about it in a second. So, ironically, you're saying he was the false 10. He was like the false 2. It was. I'm not sure, James. Could you see him making the run? Did you spot the run, or it was only when he got the ball that you realised what the hell's he doing?
To be honest, I was just watching where the ball was, and then as he came through goal, because my eyesight is getting poor, I'm struggling to see my screen at the minute. I thought, is that Calvert? Is it Calvert-Lewin? and then it took me a moment to realise it's Bogle, and then I sort of thought, well, Calvert-Lewin must have dropped back then to make space, and that's kind of what happened. But in the moment, I didn't have a clue.
Yeah, it was very ironic, because watching it on the TV, I'm not sure what the angle was. I think it might have been from behind the goal point or thereabouts. But I was watching it with my brothers, and someone said, "What position is Justin playing?" And I said, "He's he's right centre back when we don't have the ball, and he's right back when we do have the ball. And then I looked over to where he was, and I was like, "Where's Bogle?" And next minute you just see Bogle running across, and I started shouting, "Look at Bogle! Look at Bogle! Look at Bogle!" And of course, Gruev hits the ball straight over. I think a few people spotted it, because my nephew over in Israel said the same thing. He said he spotted the run and was screaming for him to give it to him. But he gets in and he slightly scuffs the shot. That's what I was asking you about the keeper. That's why the keeper didn't get it. He slightly, ever so slightly, kicks it into the ground, and because of that, it bounces over the keeper's foot. Had he actually hit it cleanly low, keeper would have saved it. But yeah, listen, that's professional football, isn't it? Like sometimes they actually do that on purpose. And it was a really good finish. It looked like a terrific finish on his wrong foot as well. And great to see him back amongst the goals, because he has had a not as easy a season, I think, as he has previously, and he hasn't probably been as dominant on the right hand side, but he has been as solid as he's ever been. So great to see him getting on. I thought he was brilliant as well. I think he walked away with the official man of the match trophy. Personally, no, I would have given it to Gruev. Not to take anything away from J-Bo if you're listening, but he was really good, and that goal just set us up nicely then, didn't it? I mean, we just the wind was at our backs then. And it was another glorious night under the lights at Elland Road.
The second goal was a tap-in. That's the bland version of it, isn't it? But the whole build-up was fantastic. James Justin and Aronson were amazing in and around the box, and seeing that from Aronson just made me think, oh, this is what you would never have expected him to do that at the start of the season, to be making those intricate passes in that way. And James Justin was unlucky, but then Okafor was there for the tap-in, which was a great finish. And I think it ended his 16-game Premier League goal drought, which he scored against Spurs in October, I think. And yeah, we've obviously been quite critical of him recently. I think a lot of people have, and it's been justified because he hasn't been great. And I think maybe the likes of Facundo coming into the team, and obviously he was left out of the squad, which Farke sort of alluded to in his press conference, or didn't, if you like, about making the effort in training, and maybe someone else arriving has sort of put the scarers on someone like Okafor a bit to step up as well. So, and he's definitely done that. The knee slide celebration made me laugh. It felt sort of topical with the Winter Olympics. It was like a Jamaican bobsleigh team, how far he went. He just didn't stop going, did he? The pitch was a mess. It was great. Yeah,
I'd like to see a view of how much of the goal he could see. I mean, there was a defender there. I don't know. I was quite happy that he popped it in. It could have been missed.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been holding back, to be honest, on this podcast about Okafor. If anyone's around me in the ground, he's been annoying me for some time, and he was amazing. He was so good on Friday night. It was, a brilliant player. The work off the ball, the tackling back, the amount of times he won possession back was just phenomenal. And Aronson as well, again, just brilliant again. So, yeah, to see them all linking up like that was fantastic. And for Okafor to get the goal, I was really, really pleased. And yeah, hopefully that is the boost that he needs. And like you say, yeah, Buonanotte coming in. Yeah, he's got some real competition there, because he may well have just been resting on his laurels at this point, knowing that Gnonto's not going to get a chance over him. I mean, there's James as well, knocking on the door as well now. So, yeah, he's got to bring it, otherwise he won't be in the team.
Yeah, it's terrific to see Dan James back on the bench, wasn't it? Even if it was at the expense of our shiny new toy, but to be fair to Facundo Buonanotte, I mean, he hasn't played a lot of football in the last kind of 6-7 months, so maybe it'll take him a little while to get up to speed with it. And let's face it, all of our players are doing very well at the moment. Even the players who are coming on are doing well and staking a claim. And I think you're dead right about Okafor. To be fair, I don't think he's been very good for the last while. I don't think he did anything to merit that start. But Farke obviously had a game plan in place, and it was executed perfectly. And ironically, the three players who I personally thought probably shouldn't have started we're the three best players on the pitch, and that's Justin, Gruev, and Okafor. So there was a serious amount of humble pie being slammed into my face on Friday night. Which, when you get the win, you're more than happy to eat every crumb of it. But I thought Okafor was brilliant. He was really exciting, and again, like you mentioned, James, about Goodmanson. Like, he attacked down the left a few times, and you could just see he had his beating of his man. There was a fabulous one where Okafor just kind of stood it up and then just chipped it over the guy's leg, and he was gone. Like, he was gone. He was 4 yards ahead of him. It wasn't even like he was just ahead of him and holding him off. And like you say, Rocco, the tackling back, and there was one down in the left back position where he made two really, really good challenges. One a standing tackle and one a sliding tackle. And he's coming into, he came into his own, shall we say. But that goal was all James Justin. If you go right back on it, he's doing a couple of 1-2s on the right hand side with Bogle. Then he drives inside. He lends it to Aronson. He continues his run, and that's what opens up the space. Because before, Aronson had a couple of options there, and he picked the right one, little outside of the foot knocker to Justin. Justin did very well after he missed his first shot. He did very well to compose himself and cut it back then for Okafor. Like I said, I don't think it's not that easy a finish. Particularly for Okafor, who's, I think it's mentioned in the comments there as well, but some of his finishing is a bit mad. Like, if he has a chance to hit Rose Ed, he will hit it, and he did have a chance on that occasion, but kept his concentration, kept his knee over the ball, and put it in. 2-0 leads within a few seconds. And I think that's the thing with the Premier League. You can just score with the additional quality you have. You can just kind of score goals out of nowhere. Like, it's not as if it always has to be coming. Like, you just get a good chance, and you've got good players, and they don't miss good opportunities, and that's exactly what happened. And we were 2-0 up. But probably one thing you did skip over was just before both goals was a really good save by Carl Darlow. That guy, I can't remember who he was. He had a right-footed shot inside the box and rebounded to his left foot, and you could see exactly what he wanted to do with it. Now, he didn't quite curl it into the left, top corner, but it was still a good shot and a really good save. One I don't think that Perry would have made, to be quite honest.
I've got the guy's name here. It's Forest Scumbag. That's it. Yeah, I mean, Farke on Facundo as well. I keep saying Facundo because I know I'm going to get his name wrong again. I don't want you two to tear
We've hammered your confidence.
That's it, yeah. I'm a shell of a man. It's up to him to prove if he can earn his spot, was what he said. So, yeah, read into that what you will. And the other thing
I think it's understandable. We've got the players already, haven't we? Everyone's back from injury. I don't think it shines badly. I don't think he's saying that he's not putting it in, but he might be.
No. But he's got to put his effort in to get up to that level because he's only played twice. Well, like, what did he play twice at Chelsea? A handful of times. He's only had 2 sub appearances here. I suppose there is the cup game next weekend that gives players like him a chance if he can play. I don't know if he's cup tied or whatnot.
And to be fair, guys, even if he only comes good in the last 6 games, if he gives us 6 good performances this season, that'll be enough. He doesn't have to hit the ground running right now. We'd like him to, but we're in good enough form. We can probably carry having a new guy who's taken a little time to adjust and stake his claim. As I said, if he gets any sort of form and ability and sharpness into him for the run in, that'll be good enough.
It's a good point, actually, because and that's what Farke's always said. The people that you can buy in January have either been injured and need time, or whatever else. And he obviously hasn't been injured, but he still fits into that category. So I'm sure Farke's managing him, and Buonanotte will know that he's still this doesn't define anything. It's just a case of there wasn't a space for him, basically, and keep working hard.
I suppose we talk about Gruev's curling cross, our assist master for the day, and the cheat code finish from Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. I mean, he's hit 10 Premier League goals this season. It's first time since Everton, when he was playing for Everton 2020-2021 season. And, as a thank you for that wonderful assist, he then kicked Gruev in the face later on, didn't he, as well, which was lovely. It's like, cheers, mate. Have a stud on the nose. But yeah, I mean, Forest. If you're a Forest fan, you're livid, aren't you? That Gruev's not been closed down. He was given so much time to make a cross. He put the ball into the right area. it was probably too low for, well, you would suspect it to be too low for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who likes using his head, but he improvised and used his chest. And the guy just oozes class. He's just so good. And he's, Rocco, I always repeat the line that you said a while ago of him being a battering ram. And he is that. He's just, it must be horrible to defend against because you never know where he is. It's not like he runs at you with the ball, but he just causes so many problems. Yeah, great finish.
It's interesting how you framed that because my friend said that he's the best player we've had since Rafinha. And I read it and I was like, you what? And then I thought about it and I think he might be. Like, highest caliber. I mean, he's an awesome striker. And I mean, the goal speaks for itself. But again, in the general play, you can't underestimate the impact he had on Friday night. Every ball up, and every time he looks like he's jumped too early and he just hangs there and he wins it. And the flick on's always accurate. I want to see his flick on completion rate versus anyone else's. It would knock it out of the park. It's unbelievable. Like, the guy's just fantastic. Yeah, he's a phenomenon. What a signing he is. 10 goals. And yeah, could he get 20? Maybe if we win the FA Cup, he will.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually that's an interesting point about him being the best player since Rafinha, because while you were talking there, I kind of went through a few players in my head. I was thinking Ruter, Somerville, but I mean, they didn't do it for us at Premier League level. Ruter's gone on to do well at Brighton, but that doesn't make him our best player. Yeah, it's probably true. Like, in terms of, let's say if there was a Real Madrid were coming in for one player, and it had to be, that Real Madrid level, a Galactico, who's the nearest we have to it? Yeah, it's Calvert-Lewin. Like, you can see him playing for pretty much any team in the world, being in and around the squad for the best and brightest teams in the world. So yeah, he was magnificent. But I think you said that was a cross, James, from Gruev, and it absolutely was. That. It was a shot, and
he knew what he was doing.
It's funny this. So Dara thinks it's a shot, you think it's a cross, and I think it was one of those cross shots that might sneak into the far post, but he didn't hit it right. That's what I think.
I think he was looking for a top corner, Mateus click against Middlesbrough style, and he just didn't hit it right. Yeah, but there's a really good angle of it from behind the goal. Kind of would have been directly in line with Gruev, so not directly behind the goal, but probably off to the post, to the far post. And you can see Calvert-Lewin, as the ball's coming in, he ducks his head because he wants to head it. It's just natural instinct, I suppose. Ball's in the air, I'm going to head it. And at the last minute, he realizes he can't head it, so he just lifts his head up and then just angles his body and chests it in. And again, that striker's instinct to just whatever it takes to get on the ball, get a goal. Like, if it's your knee, if it's your backside, if it's the side of your ear, your shoulder, and in this case, your chest. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I just can't stop loving the guy. If I had to put up a thing on X, it's got 1,500 likes already. And it was the one of them after the match giving the Leeds salute, and you're just like, oh, Dominic, don't do this to us. Don't do this to us. Seriously, I can't fall in love again. I can't. Yous all leave us at the end of the day. Yous all leave as soon as a better offer comes in. So just don't do this to me. And then you see him getting the Leeds salute. It's too late. I love you. Too late. I love you. I love you. You're the best.
The thing I like about Dominic Calvert-Lewin doing the chest pump to the South Stand is he did it right. A lot of players do it wrong, don't they? And Farke does the flat hand. It's like, give it the fist. Come on, he gets it. And he sort of laughs at the reaction he gets from the crowd as well, which is just great. I liked as well that he confronted Milenkovic for standing over Aronson as well, didn't he? He's just what you want in your team. Just someone who's just not a hard man. He's not a hard man, is he? But he's just so firm and so good, and he just commands so much respect from everyone. And yeah, I love him. I think he's phenomenal. And yeah, I suppose we probably should talk about their goal a little bit, only because Lorenzo Luca, the 6'7" Italian on loan from Napoli, and they have a £35 million option to buy. Debut header, 10th player to score on Forest's Premier League debut. Someone referred to him as Pizza Crouch, which is so good. Oh, I love it. Yeah, thanks, Andy, for sending me that. It was great. But yeah, he took Beale's shirt back to the Forest dressing room as well because they know each other from Udinese. But I mean, we don't have to talk about that anymore. That was a classic in between two defenders sort of goal that Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores, and he's a massive bloke. You can edit in the goal. Simple as that.
it's the sort of thing that I was moaning about earlier in the season, but on this occasion, yeah, I just think it was a good, decent goal. I don't think anyone did anything wrong. He wasn't free, he wasn't left. We didn't switch off, I don't think. Maybe we could have defended it better in some way, but looking at that, it just looked a good goal, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm not even sure we could, because he actually outjumped Rodon, and that just doesn't happen. I've never seen that happen before. Like, Rodon's made a couple of errors. We've seen that. He's not infallible, but he doesn't get outjumped for headers. And yeah, he just got outjumped by a 6'7" pizza crouch, which is interesting in its own right. And there was nothing for Darlow to do. And going back to Darlow again, I thought Darlow had a really good game. Really good game. Did all the basics right, but then did more than the basics too. Like that shot after they scored, it was going over his head. Now look, again, you'd expect him to make it, but he made it, and he got a firm fist on it, and he put it over. He looked decent on their crosses, good with his feet. It's just it's nice just after the howler against Arsenal, he's just come out and had a really solid performance, because there was a few people suggesting that maybe Perry might find himself back in goal again. I think Perry's done. I think Perry's done at Leeds. He might get a run in the cup. Highly likely, I suppose, just out of respect. Farke seems to think he's a nice guy, but I don't think Farke's having him at all as a goalkeeper. I don't think there's any hope of seeing him play in the Premier League again unless Darlow does a few massive howlers.
There was a couple of shots as well that were deflected that he made really good saves off. That sort of went under the radar a little bit, and the one as well, Ampadu's dodgy header back to him, and he was alert right there on the edge of the box to gobble it up just in time. I mean, that could have been a calamity as well. Yeah, he had a great game.
Is there anyone? Obviously, we focus on the goals, which we tend to do when there's a few in a game. But is there anyone else you want to pluck out? You're obviously talking about Ampadu there, and I've sort of weirdly stopped watching him. I really take him for granted that he just does his job in that area of the park, and what a position that is to be in. You know, when you think back to last time we were in the Premier League with the the midfielders that we had, you were watching them just baying for them to make a mistake so you could just tear into them. But now it's just the opposite. It's just like, well, Ampadu will clear that up. Are we taking him for granted?
Oh yeah,
yeah. We have to be. 7 million. I saw a tweet today. Did you see? It was like showed our team and how much it cost to assemble. It's like 80 million, and half of that's Okafor and Aronson. They've done amazing. It's absolutely brilliant what they've done, and we've found ourselves, I think, with a generation of players that can take us to Europe. Like I think
God,
we're nearly there. A few more wins. No, a few more players, but we've got the foundation. Like I was going to pick out Strauch. It's just been superb all season, and nothing particularly spectacular. But I mean, that's what you want from a centre back, isn't it? You see like Dunk at Brighton and Burn at Newcastle. Like they're probably better than Strauch. I don't know, but like Strauch's doing the job that they have done over a number of years, and it's just superb. I love it. Well played.
You're not far wrong though, Rocco. I mean, if you replace Okafor with I'm going to say a Rafinha, there's someone who's got that higher ceiling, even if they only stay with us for a couple of seasons. There's every chance we could get up this league, because it allows you to play in a different way as well. That if you have someone with a bit of flair up front, because that way you can just absorb a bit of pressure, and maybe they come up with a moment of magic which will win you three matches a season out of 38. And that's 9 points, and where would we be if we had 9 more points? And not to mention the confidence that you get from that, and the way opposition players have to set up to deal with that. But yeah, if I was going to mention one more thing, or one more player, it would be Brendan Aronson. I didn't think he had his best game, but my God, he got kicked around. Like he absolutely got kicked around that pitch. And there's a few times you thought you even went down a bit easy, and then they show a replay of it and a zoom in. It's like, oh no, he got kicked again. And what's his name, Sangria or something like that. He should have been sent off. He just went to do him. He absolutely went to do him. It was pure frustration, and he should have been sent off.
Yeah, and in the end, though, I hope Brendan's actually going to be all right for Tuesday night. We've obviously got a massive game at Chelsea, and he has been so important to us recently. But yeah, it finished 3-1. Great night. I had a brilliant time with Tom and Gav, who I haven't seen in ages as well, Adam's brother, and it was just a great night. Elland Road was brilliant. Exactly what you want from a Friday night under the lights at Elland Road. And we've got a few more under the lights coming as well, which is promising, given Farke's record.
And a special guest coming for one of them.
Who's that?
Dara. Who's that?
Oh, yeah, of course
we were talking about it today, weren't we? Or was it yesterday?
Yes,
I thought it was like
Brentford game.
I thought it was going to be, you know, like Pablo or someone like that. You know, because you get them at matches, don't you? And I often the last to find out. I thought that's what you were getting at. Sorry, Dara.
To be fair, there's a Cunningham at Mo. And to my great shame, Brentford is actually my first game this season. After buying a new house and my mother being sick and passed away and everything else, I just haven't had a chance to get over yet. So, yeah, the Brentford game being on a Saturday night, so yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll have some Rudy's pizzas. Anyone want to come join us? We'll have to book a big table if you do. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, it was a funny one after that because obviously there was games to come on the Saturday as well, and Burnley and West Ham were playing one another, and you hoped Burnley would do us a favour, but they didn't. West Ham won. They were very good by all accounts against. Or Burnley were poor, should we say? So that's a bit annoying that the gap closed from 9 points to 6 points, but it's still a really good gap. And more importantly, well, not more importantly, but just as important that we got the victory against Forest and keep them down there in that battle as well. But actually, there's a battle going on around us as well, really, when you look at Spurs, who are on the same amount of points as us as well. 29 points. They're winless in 7, 3 draws, 3 losses. They obviously lost at Old Trafford. And Thomas Frank has a win rate of 28% across 25 league matches, which is pretty poor. So, yeah, it's good to see a Champions League club in crisis, isn't it? And, yeah, it's great for us that some teams are getting dragged into it. You never know, we might get something against Chelsea. I think they've turned a corner, really, and have been playing a lot better since we played them when they were under Maresca. But, yeah, just a huge night down there. And what do you think? How do you think we'll fare?
It's going to be tough, isn't it? Yeah. I just feel like it's the type of night where Chelsea will really turn up. Type of team you can't trust. That's why I expected us to beat them at Elland Road. But yeah, I'm sort of expecting to see the other side of them on Tuesday. But let's see. I seem to always think we're going to lose away games, and we've been playing well recently. So I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised yet again.
Yeah, I think we've every chance. We've just been playing so well. We're just a good side. I mean, I said at the start of the season that the Premier League was in for a rude awakening, that they've been coasting along. I think I've been proven right. Like the last 3 seasons, there's been 3 crap teams in the Premier League who've just died a death from day one. I mean, Ipswich finished 3rd from bottom last season on 25 points. Like we're already on, is it 29? Like we're way off. And that's with like so many games to go. So the standard at the moment is unreal. Whoever goes down is genuinely going to be quite unlucky. Honestly, unless it's West Ham, because West Ham have been crap all season. Yeah, they've had a few good results lately, and to be fair, they're being very good results because actually been away wins, which are the hardest wins to get. But they've been awful all season. They can't defend, and hopefully that continues now for the next 2 games with Todibo out. As for Chelsea, we have a chance against anyone, but I think someone's just after asking there, would we ring the changes? Personally, I would again. I think horses for courses. I'd like to see B all back. I think our defence is at its most solid with him in the centre of a 3. I think as good as Justin has been, I think the unit itself functions better with him sweeping up either side of Stroke and Rodon. And yeah, obviously wouldn't go as attacking. So for me, one of Okafor or Aronson could come out. I think we all know it's going to be Okafor because he doesn't drop Aronson, and Longstaff come in and shore up that midfield with Gruev and Ampadu. So that's personally what I would do, and I think that would give us a good chance to get in Chelsea's face. And I think we're a match for anybody when we do that.
Yeah, you never know, dear. Rocco, we weirdly got invited down to, well, you did actually, because the email came through to your name, but we got invited down to an event in London, which was what is it? It was to commemorate the planning permission going through on Elland Road and about the evolution of stuff, to allow councils to more rights for planning of and all that kind of thing. But I thought it was kind of ironic that it was like, here's this event celebrating Elland Road and this huge change for Leeds. Oh, by the way, it's in London.
Yeah, I know.
A bit weird. But yeah, it's with Pete Lowy. So you on and asked him loads of questions, but you're not here.
I know. What a shame. And Eddie Gray. I don't know who else is going. It'll be a great event. I was honoured to be invited cordially by Mr. Pete Lowy, but no, I can't go. Sorry, and I've not bothered replying either.
Rocco, he leaves all the admin to me, so I'll send a nice reply. But it was very nice. It was very nice to be considered. Well, it was very nice for Rocco to be considered, and
exactly.
not mentioned. Thank you. Yeah, that's really nice.
Can I just chime up with just because we were talking about the relegation battle, and I think Forest are in big trouble. Like I've been overestimating them. When I saw the lineup at Elland Road, I thought that is not a good team. The striker can't score goals, the keeper 500 grand third choice from City. The defence is a bit of a mess. They've got Morgan Gibbs-White, basically. They've got a decent midfielder. I can't remember his name now, but even him, like...
Anderson.
Anderson. It is Anderson, isn't it? I think he's played for England. I think they're the team that West Ham could catch, and hopefully we can just concentrate on the guys above us.
It's so annoying when you look at the points that we've dropped this season, isn't it? At Forest away and Spurs at home, you just think,
Burnley.
I wish we had got points there, but now's the chance to make amends for those things. And someone did put in there's a bit of debate in the comments here amongst Dan James. I'll pluck out it's not positive, just neutral, that says one more. Oh no, press the wrong one. That's me. One more thing, Dan James' return. So yeah, like it was mentioned very early on in the podcast, but it is great to see him back on the pitch. And whether you think he's right for this level or not, I think there's always something for him to add into this. I think being able to play the ball over the top on a counter for someone like Dan James is great. It adds another dimension for Leeds, like something that we haven't really been able to do so far this season. So yeah, I think it's a really positive thing, and hopefully he gets a bit of game time at Chelsea, and I think he'll definitely get the cup game as well, which is good news.
I also think with regards to Dan James, he's more than capable of making the step up into the Premier League in the same way that Ampadu, Rodon, Strauch, Bogle have all done this season, and Aronson. I think the issue with Dan James is he has had a niggling injury all season. And for someone who relies on their pace, and it has to be at 100% in order to get the best out of himself. I mean, making a step up a level, but being down a bit in terms of your physicality, that's never going to work for anyone. It's very clear to me from the very first game of the season, he's not fully running the way he usually runs. So I would take kid gloves to him, look after him, get him fit, and when he's fit 100%, I think he'll add as much as any of those other players did, because he was every bit as good as them, if not better, in the Championship.
Rocco, do you think Dan James is a bit of a confidence player? Because when he played for Scum, like when he first went in, he was brilliant, wasn't he? And then the fans started getting on his back, but the whole team were performing badly. And then he was sold to Leeds. He came in at Leeds. We had an injury crisis. He was put up front. Pressure was on him. And as a result of that, he was then sent out on loan. So his confidence by that whole thing must have been absolutely battered. And last season was the season where he's had a great run. He was brilliant, one of our best players by a mile. And this season, he just needs more of a chance and more of an effort in his right position, not playing up front.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's going to be hard to see, because I don't know how he's going to get in. The way that you instill confidence into Dan James is by saying, Dan James, you're the guy, like you're playing. As soon as you're fully fit, you're playing. And that's just not going to happen because Aronson's playing so well and his role is so important. I can't see him being anything but an impact sub, really, until there's injuries. Yeah. If he manages to change that by being amazing when he comes on, then, well, that'll be absolutely incredible. And it was a good cameo, I thought. He burst through one time, brilliant little ball by Gruev, I think, wasn't it? Split the defence and he put it across goal. Actually, I thought Calvert-Lewin's run was quite poor. I thought he should have gone to the back post and he sort of hung back, but Yeah, it'll be good to see him in the cup. He'll surely, hopefully, get a start by then, and see if he can still be as quick as he was.
And to be fair, it's not all about starters. We do need impact subs. There will be games when we'll be 1-0 down, 2-1 down with 20 minutes to go, and you got to bring on people who can change it up. That's what the Premier League has, I suppose. Premier League teams have that newly promoted teams don't, is that strength and depth or the ability to change a game. So yeah, it's not all about who starts. Dan James will have something to offer before the end of the season, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, definitely. I remember like when we lost to Fulham, like I remember saying like Fulham brought on Smith Rowe and that Brazilian guy. I assume he's Brazilian. Kevin, yeah. And
sounds totally Brazilian, doesn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, we can do that now. It's good.
We can bring on Kevin.
And Dan,
I was going to make
other Brazilian sound.
I was going to make. Yeah, I mean his name doesn't sound Welsh, to be fair, does it? At least Ethan Ampadu is very Welsh. Right. Well, that's. All right. There you
Let's
go.
not do this again. Let's not do this again.
What, like Harry Kane and Declan Rice? Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to get into this because we're going to try and wrap this up. But apparently, everyone should play for Ireland. The next should be telling me Rafinha was born in.
He's Italian.
County somewhere.
He should be playing for Italy.
Oh god, here we go. I was going to go into another team, Fiorentina, Rocco and Harrison, but I'm not going there. I don't think anyone wants to hear it, do they?
He's not started.
He got a good assist, actually. He got a good assist.
Yeah,
he did.
He did get a good. And Manor Solomon got man of the match, didn't he? But anyway, Leeds United, Chelsea on Tuesday night, huge game, and I hope we get something from it. And unless there's nothing else from you two, then I think that's it for this evening. So thanks everyone for joining us. Smash us a like, as Dara would say, or subscribe on YouTube if you're watching there. And on the audio version, do the same. Give us a follow and leave a comment on the Spotify comments. So yeah, thanks again, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers.